If it's connected to the internet, cybercriminals will inevitably try to exploit it. And as we're all regularly using new forms of technology in our daily lives, hackers are plotting how to take advantage of this. For many of us, scanning QR codes has become increasingly common this year, and it's something which cybercriminals have noticed. I'm Danny Palmer, this is ZDNet Security Update, and with me to discuss how hackers are looking to exploit QR codes is Anna Chung, cybersecurity threat research analyst for Unit 42 at Palo Alto Networks. Thanks for joining me, Anna. So first of all, what is a QR code and how do they work?
Thanks for having me, Danny. So QR code is a two-dimensional code. It creates instant access, allowing users to have visibility and access to the information hidden within the code. It can be a website, sometimes it could be a business card, and in some case, it will allow you to log into an internet Wi-Fi network without typing in long, secure password.
Yeah, there's something that's increasingly appeared over the last year or so, especially here in the UK with the contact tracing app. QR codes, you have to scan the doorway of buildings, restaurants, things you go in. So there's obviously data stored in there, data that says information about you, your phone, and that's even just on that level. That's something that's going to be interesting to cyber criminals.
Yes, exactly. I think especially since the COVID, the pandemic, people start paying more and more attentions to this perfect solutions, allow people to have contactless interactions and allow business to reopen safely. So when you go to the restaurants, you might scan the codes to see the menu, place your order, or even make the payments. So the code itself does not contain a lot of the user data, but it's a gateway introducing it and redirects the users to where different web page, app store to download a new app. It's a new safe and efficient way. It allows users to go log in their information, also visit websites, and also making payments when they needed to. However, we noticed there are cyber criminals start talking about abusing this attack vectors to targeting innocent users who rely on this efficient ways to maintain their digital way of life as well.
So what are some of the ways in which attackers are trying to exploit this technology? As you've mentioned, it's something that we're more increasingly using and can serve as a gateway to having to enter further information that could potentially be of interest to cyber criminals.
Yes, I think that's a very good question. So from what we can see so far, there are several different methods. First is there are cyber criminals or malicious threat actors plan to set up a false internet free Wi-Fi for people and say people, hey, scan this QR code and you can use my free Wi-Fi. Of course, overall speaking, using free Wi-Fi is not a very good idea. What it can do is it will allow attacker to eavesdrop or intersect the data the users using in their network or intercept those data. In the worst scenario, it could also steal their personal identifiable information, such as their username, their passwords, as well as in some cases download malicious app to their mobile devices.
I suppose that's one of the things, that when people are scanning these codes, they're entrusting that it is safe, it is legitimate. And is it the case that, say for example, I went to a restaurant and I scanned the code to say I am going to this restaurant? Is there a way for attackers to secretly infiltrate the process somehow? So I don't know that I've been sent somewhere malicious, and the restaurant doesn't know that I'm being sent somewhere malicious, but the attackers are getting that information somewhere in the middle and using it for, well, there's many different types of information they could take: name, address, date of birth, bank details, that sort of thing.
Yes, I think in that specific examples, the attacker have to replace their malicious QR code with the restaurant's QR code. So they have to physically replace it. But in some of the more worrisome scenario, they can replace those QR code by compromising websites. In that case, it will be harder for both user and business to understand that or realize that. So there are certain recommendations. I think from the business, especially website administrators' perspective, it's important to constantly do integrity check and make sure the QR code they presented on their web page is the correct and accurate and safe one they want to present to the users. As for the user's perspective, nowadays there's a lot of really good, safe QR code scanning app. It allows users to preview the website before they click on it. Many of the browsers these days also allows users to choose disable automatically open this website page so that it allows the users to have a preview on the URL domain. So from the user's behavior, they can review the domain and see if it's trustworthy sources.
So when it comes to attacks using QR codes, is there potential for them to be used as a backdoor into businesses? I mean, we've seen over the course of this year, with a lot of people working remotely, devices have increasingly become an attack vector for cyber criminals. And I suppose if QR codes provide an avenue of getting into a device and a network, it's something that cyber criminals are going to be looking at.
Yes, for sure. I think there's several ways, as we mentioned. The first way is also like hiding the phishing URLs in the QR codes to lure victim to click on it. So it's highly suggest don't scan the QR code if you don't know where it's going to lead you to. Second, even if you click on the URL code, please make sure you preview the website and the domain name and make sure it is safe. Third, I think overall speaking, we always recommend people to only download applications from trusted sources such as Google or Apple app. So these are basic cyber hygiene, but it will effectively protect individual users from being abused.
Thanks for joining me, Anna. It's a really fascinating subject, and you've given some good advice on how to protect against these sorts of attacks. And for more information on how you can protect yourself from other types of cyber attacks and keep yourself safe online, be sure to keep watching ZDNet Security Update, watch ZDNet YouTube channel, and keep reading ZDNet. Thanks for watching.